science, and how important that part is. So in this picture right here, in this video, is a boy that I worked with, and I want to argue that he's got the seeds of science going for him. So we were in a group called Kitchen Chemistry, and he's trying to do a fried chicken experiment where he has control. Like, he really wanted to handle the chicken himself. He has personalization. He wanted to know, well, how can I make fried chicken into a science experiment? So we worked with him to try to see, like, what's the differences in oils then, right? If you fry the chicken in canola oil, if you fry the chicken in corn oil, if you fry the chicken in vegetable oil, what happens? And there's a sense of investment you see with this child. It's 100 degrees that day outside in Maryland in July. It's not like that here in Seattle. And he is in an even hotter kitchen. And yet, still, on a morning, he's there trying to do this experiment himself. And there's a sense of territoriality. When he's done with the experiment, when he's done with the investigation, he tells people about it. He actually stands by his own little science poster, wanting to tell people about what he saw and what he did. We could talk about scientizing the world. My colleague Tamara Clegg and Janet Kolodner wrote a paper on this notion of, can I see science where I go? If I go to the grocery store, do I see science? If I think about questions that I have about learning and play, do I see it in the world myself? Do we think about collaboration and sharing? How is it that people come together? I talked about this notion of transforming participation as a form of learning. Well, what is it about the collaborations and sharing that go on? And really, how do we support these participatory practices in science? How do I think about all this? Well, one of the things we've been thinking a lot about, not just in the role of digital tech design, is actually thinking about the context. And so I spent a lot of time at the University of Maryland in a program called Kitchen Chemistry. And we call that a life-relevant learning context in which it's familiar. I understand cooking. I understand the ways that I eat. To think about authentic science skills. So instead of just cooking, really trying to think about some of the causal questions, the mechanisms that go on. What are these hypotheses that can drive?